Hello everyone and welcome to today's English class. Today I'm going to record a very brief video just to show you a little bit lesson 3 of unit 2, and then you'll have to work on my English lab, complete some exercises there. Alrighty, so let me show you what this lesson is about, and we'll move on to the grammar box, which is very brief also. So the idea of this unit is that you learn vocabulary to discuss the future of work. And we are going to have a look at some vocabulary that may be useful for you. The idea is that we talk about words that are about to disappear or are going to disappear, maybe. Alrighty, so that's the idea that you have to get in this lesson. We have here some vocabulary. A bank teller, it's the cashier of a bank. Actually, is the one who deals with the customers. So whenever you go to the bank to make a deposit, for example, or a withdrawal, you have to talk to a bank teller. Then we have the word automation, which is the use of machines, not people, to do a job. That's happening more and more nowadays in our world. Then we have a programmer, very important in nowadays job field. And a programmer is someone who writes programs for computers. We know that already. Then we have a technician, and a technician is someone whose job involves using special equipment or machines to do something. That's a technician. For example, at university, we have some technicians who deal with CAN, our platform, the university platform. So whenever we have a problem with that platform, we have to contact a technician. We also have an engineer, and an engineer is someone whose job is to design and build machines, roads, bridges, etc. So nowadays we have many kinds of engineers. So you may be familiar with that word also. Then we have an accountant, a very important person in a company, and someone whose job is to keep records of how much money a business or person has received and spent. Then we have a landscaper. Do you imagine what a landscaper is? Let's find out. A landscaper is someone whose job is to arrange where plants will grow. That's very interesting and very important nowadays. Then we have an industry, and an industry is all of the business that make or do a particular type of thing. And finally, we have manufacturing, which is the business of using machines to make things. And that's the deal. Manufacturing and produce are not the same. So manufacturing means that you use machines in the process of making something. Produce does not involve machines. For example, you produce milk or you produce vegetables, but you cannot manufacture. Well, nowadays you can, but usually we don't manufacture vegetables or milk. We produce that. All right, that would be the difference between manufacturing and producing. Then you have an exercise to have a little use of that vocabulary. I highly recommend that you read this exercise and complete it on your own so you can practice the vocabulary. We're not going to do it today. And we are going to move on quickly to the grammar box. I promised it wouldn't be too long, and I'm going to stand for that. The only thing that we are going to study today is not so complicated. We are going to study a few connectors, which are so and therefore. We use these connectors, so and therefore, to make conclusions. Alrighty, so we have an idea and we connect it with another idea which involves a conclusion. Let's see the examples. The ATM made running a bank cheaper. So banks opened more branches. Alrighty, so this is like the consequence of this one. It's kind of that. Appliances and phones are cheaper, so people replace those things more often. Appliances and phones are cheaper. That's really true. They are cheaper nowadays, so it's not so difficult for some people to buy them, and that's why they change the phones very often. So as you can see, we have some kind of a connection which involves a conclusion or a consequence between these two sentences or clauses. Let's have a look at the use of therefore. Therefore, it means the same as so, but it's more formal and it's more advanced. So if you want to sound more advanced, sometimes you should use therefore. The new jobs require a lot of education. Therefore, we'll see more work for teachers. Ready? That's the connection between those two. New jobs require a lot of education. So we need more teachers. Therefore, we need more teachers. Automation has made goods cheaper. Therefore, people have more money to spend. And that's, again, the relationship, a conclusion, a consequence, relationship between those two. And that's actually it. Not so complicated as I promised. Now we'll read the notes to see what new information we can find about these two. So use a comma before so and after therefore. Alrighty, so we need a comma before so, and we need a comma after therefore. Careful with that. You can use a semicolon, this is a semicolon, to join sentences with therefore. The new jobs require a lot of education, semicolon, therefore, comma, we'll see more jobs for teachers. All right, so the comma is mandatory after therefore, the comma is mandatory before so, and a semicolon, it's possible, or a dot is possible before therefore. Alrighty, so that's the rule for grammar. This is very important because now you're going to work on My English Lab, and on My English Lab, that is very important. If you miss a comma, then your sentence will be incorrect. So be careful with that. And actually, that's it. That's what I want you to know about so and therefore. It's just for you to have more connectors to build longer sentences, just like we did on the previous class with the relative pronouns. I'm expecting you to write, to say longer sentences, and the same I'm expecting here with so and therefore, because the lower our levels are, the less words we are able to use in a sentence. But as soon as we start upgrading our level, that means that we start to use more words. Therefore, you need to use longer sentences. That's the idea. All right, so now, after watching this very brief video, you go to My English Lab and you complete the exercises there. I have 2 exercises for practicing so and therefore, and then I have a test to help you practice the whole unit because we haven't been in touch so much this week. So I want you to practice everything today. That's it. Thank you very much for watching the video. And if you have any extra questions, of course, you can contact me on WhatsApp and we can try to figure out a solution or an answer for your comment or question.